This is daily Checkle number 31. Okay, I like this position. Lots of pieces to work with. King is maybe up here. One rook's gotta be on this file, right? Let's do that. Queen somewhere in the middle. Lots of visibility. Knight also somewhere in the middle. Maybe this file. And the bishop. Let's just also throw it in the middle somewhere. Yeah, let's do that. Then I can see a little bit more. Alright, first guess. Right. Get this one up here. We'll get the king, I guess, farther up. There's no pawn in front of those guys. That's odd. Maybe there's one behind this knight? Well, there was no rook in this file, so maybe there's a pawn in this file. It's not an open file then. I could see this being reasonable, honestly. Maybe I just throw the other rook somewhere wild just to eliminate some squares, like here. I don't know how it would have gotten there, but no, that's ridiculous. Right? Yeah, that's totally ridiculous. Actually, if I leave it here, then this one should turn orange if it's in the right row. Well, almost. I mean, there is this square that wouldn't be checking. Okay, horsey. Oof. That can go in a couple spots. Actually, this pawn is probably not there. Let's trade these two. That makes sense. But then this piece is undefended and being attacked. So I'm not sure about that. But I want to try this file too. Queen. Queen next. This over here checks at least this file, which has a bunch of options. And the bishop. Maybe it makes sense the bishop to be, I kind of like this square, but it's not defended if it's there, so can I move this? You know what? That almost works. No, you know what? I don't like this queen after all, because in this position, white would probably have traded queens if the queen was there, because they're up material. Not significantly up material, but it's still an unusual choice. This kind of works better. I have to admit, I don't like the way that this logically checks the squares. Basically, it includes every square that I already think it might be in, so there's no way it would be red. And if it's orange, it doesn't tell me a lot. Whatever. This makes some sense that we were in this position. Black moved up, then the queen moved out of the way with a check. That makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna roll with that. Okay. Getting somewhere. It could be here. That makes sense. I know there's no pawn over there. The bishop can be in a lot of places. It could be here. Could have fianchettoed early in the game and stayed there. Or this spot's also available. I don't really know. Although this pawn is, at the moment, that pawn's undefended. But it probably is defended like this. And then the other pawn, this has got to be here, right? I mean, surely. It's got to be that. Okay, since I know there's no pawn on this file, that tells me maybe the rook's over there. That makes some sense. And the bishop. Just one more bishop. Do I think it's fianchettoed on the left, on the right, over here? Fianchettoed? Or did it like move over here? There are like suspiciously few pieces along these diagonals that it would make sense that a bishop is controlling them. So we'll try it. Alright, let's try that. Oh, alright, well, we are almost there, but still a little lost. How have I not gotten this knight yet? Still 2 spots left for the knight. This one is in opposition. This kind of makes sense now, but it's still defended. Wait, Takes, yeah, and then you wouldn't take back. That'd be silly. But that's kind of just losing material, like a lot of material. Enough that I would say the evaluation would be more than an edge if that knight was about to be wiped off the board. Whereas here, then it's just not doing anything. I mean, it's not really doing anything on the other square either. Okay, we'll come back to the knight. The pawn. The pawn has to be doubled up somewhere then. I think the most likely spot would be over here. It's just so weird. Okay. Bishop. Bishop. Well, there's not a lot left. This is kind of rude now. Because I know that this is like triple attacked and double defended. So, but then again, it was defended by the queen. So maybe there's an idea here. Maybe this is the idea. Takes, 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 takes. Whereas over here, there's a threat of now takes. This is a really weird position. I mean, no matter where these things are, it's very strange. Okay, this is just a better square for the knight. So I'll leave it there. But this is still some unresolved tension that I don't really like that much. Yeah, the bishops, as usual, being problems. Okay, I think this is just going to be a get in 5-1, maybe 6 even. Okay, let's just look at like squares that make sense. That's not awful, not awful. This is dead. This is bad. This is bad. Too much tension. Way too much tension. Way too much tension there. Too much tension there. Too much tension here. No, same reasons. This is fine. This is fine. That's it. It's a 50-50 basically between the sensible fianchettoed square and the not sensible corner square, more or less. I feel like in this configuration, it makes more sense over here at least, because this feels like just you would not really want to let that happen. Plus it was pinned to the queen. That's just very strange. Okay, I don't have anything. Ah, okay. Just a pawn. Where were you? I mean, it's gotta be one of these 3 squares. None of those are defended except the topmost one. But this one's like super weird. Do I have any other options here? Like, no, those are illegal. This is really, really weird. But actually kind of works. That's a strange one. But it does work. It's defended by the queen. I kind of like that more than this option, which is just like really weird because it would have been here. I'm assuming it moved here because I don't know why white would move the bishop into the attack of the thing, but it could not possibly have moved there recently because then it's covering this square that the queen was just on. So this kind of makes a dumb amount of sense. All right, roll it. Yes, that was a hard one. Checkle in 5.